Welcome to Rugby Heads, powered by the Peak Athletic Club, your ultimate destination for all things rugby. Join us as we dive into the highlights of the past week, break down the biggest moments and spotlight the players who made it all happen. Whether you're a diehard fan like us or new to the game, Rugby Heads has got you covered. So let's drum down and engage in some good old-fashioned ruggish chat. My name is Shone, and joining me are your regular Rugby Heads, Alfonso Aromia from Logan Saints in Brisbane, and Mani Nandola from the Moorabbin Bulls. Welcome, boys.
Yo, what's up, man? What's up, homie?
Did it get your clubs right?
Oh, close enough.
Wait, the Bulls, boy.
Let's just get into the show. Quick little rundown. We start off with our player of the week. We give our flowers to the players who we think stood out over the weekend, and then we dive in around the grounds. We hit the Sanzars Big Three, their test matches over the weekend, as well as touch on the Reds versus Wales. We'll quickly run over whatever happened in Donga over there against, Supreme Leader Spain. They're actually dark horse in World Rugby. No one knows it yet, but now they do. And then, Ardie Savea, big news. Ardie Savea signs with Moana Pacifica. And, we preview the Olympics that kicks off in a few days. And then viewers' questions and finish off with our shout-outs. All right, boys. Fonz, you want to kick us off? Who was your player from the week?
I was going to bring him up last week, but I'm going to bring him up now, and that's the 18-year-old out of Brisbane State High there, the number 8 there, Roman Sualipa. And the reason why I brought him up is because if you don't know him, people know him in the basketball circles, but not in the rugby circles. He's already signed to play in the NBL in 2 months' time, and he's still in school. So this will be his last 2 months of playing rugby, because I don't think we'll see him again playing our code. He signed a 2-year deal at the age of 17 with the Tasmanian side that won the NBL this season, and there's big reps on him going to the NBA. But scored 4 tries last week on round 1 for State High, and then he scored another try on the weekend against BBC. And I just think if you want to go watch this young man before he switches codes, then now's the time, because what a talent he is.
Yeah, he's actually popped up in our questions, so we'll go over that a little bit later in the show. Nems, who's your player of the week?
My player of the week, I thought he played really well. I thought he probably I think maybe a lot of people, Fonz, you probably correct me if I'm wrong here, but were surprised maybe with him playing at 13. But I thought Billy Proctor had a solid game.
Yeah,
he was good enough defence, which, I guess the All Blacks pride themselves on that sort of game, and attack you. He was sound. I thought I like that setup that combination's got with Leonard Brown. So, I think those two complement each other. They're similar, and they're big boys as well. So, Billy Proctor was probably my one guy that stood out for me, and watching him live, he played really, really well.
Yeah. Good shout. My player of the week was from Portugal. I know they went down to the Springboks, but I was really impressed with their fullback, Simão Bento. He's not a big guy, but ran it hard. I think he got 3 turnovers, saved a few tries, and made a few half breaks for the Portuguese. And they're actually really impressed, even though they got beat by a Springboks B team, but really impressed with what they showed moving forward, as it is a rebuilding group after a lot of the experienced players retired after the World Cup. So shout out to my Oslobos brothers. All right, around the grounds, we'll kick off with the game. Nems, you were there on the weekend. Your thoughts on the game, and how was the atmosphere? It looked pretty good.
Yeah, so look, had the opportunity to get over there, which was really good. Look, even though it's not what really impressed me the most, and I'll touch on the game, but what really impressed me was the atmosphere. I brought that up on Twitter and I said it on social media, how they get it. Like the thing that really impressed me was guys that didn't even know the game were there. And it felt like you were at a party.
Yeah.
I think we've spoken it a few weeks ago of how we can make it a bit better. And like 30,000, people came to watch a game. But what really impressed me was the amount of Mexicans that were at the game.
Well, it's San Diego.
Bros, there were heaps of them there, and they were on All Blacks jerseys.
Yeah, they
obviously haven't got that far and knowing what Fiji is, but Man, you should have seen it. Like it was awesome. The atmosphere was great. They just know how to do entertainment. I guess it's America, and like I said in one of my tweets, we can learn a lot out of them. Like we spoke about a few weeks ago. So I was really impressed with the atmosphere. Even though the game blew out, it didn't feel like when you see a game, it's like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah.
Like it was just buzzing, and it was awesome. And but on the game, look, All Blacks, that from 1 minute to 80, they were in control. Fiji showed patches of some good rugby playing, getting in that kick game, the kicking contest, and I thought they did really well. But again, against a team like the All Blacks, a good lesson that I think I'll take out of that is that you've got to be on it for 80 minutes, and whether you're playing South Africa or Ireland or the All Blacks, that sort of tier, that sort of level, you've got to be on. And like I said, they showed some good patches, but the All Blacks were they'll calm, and they played really well. And just to watch them live was pretty cool. I've never watched them once before, but I was really impressed. Mine was Ardie Savea. I thought he led from the haka right through, and caught up with him after the game. Caught up with him. We just said 4 words. That was it. But I think he forgot to tell me that he signed for Moana 4 hours later. But congrats to it was awesome. It was good to catch up and see the boys after the game. It was good to have a beer. So really good.
Yeah, it looked awesome on TV. Like especially they had that. I think it was out for a bit when Cortez Ratama went down, and you just see the crowd. Everyone's just enjoying themselves until they got him off the field. So the atmosphere was incredible. Fonz, who was your Incredible Hulk, or who stood out for you from the All Blacks, and your thoughts on the game?
Oh, I was actually going to bring up the same player Nems brought up, which was Proctor.
Yeah,
I thought, for a debut, he just looked so smooth at 13. I'd like to see him get a bit more game time coming up in the Rugby Championship. But before the game, you were there, Nems, but how was that national anthem from New Zealand? Because I thought that was hurting my ears. That was terrible.
Oh, it was, because, like that crowd, obviously, there was a lot of Kiwis and stuff, right? And so we were sitting with I was sitting with a lot of Kiwi supporters, and you're looking up, there's a guy behind me goes, what the F is this? Right, so I don't think anyone's saying the anthem. Like that. I felt sorry for her. She copped it a lot, but a funny thing on the anthem bit, they, obviously the Fiji anthem, we sing it in English. So anyway, so old mate starts singing it, and he sings it in the Fijian dialect. Like some people know, and some people don't. So you just look around, all the Fijians like. So it was a bit of confusion, but she was playing up, man. Like I said, before that they sang the American song. They've got an American song.
Oh, okay.
And the flag comes out, and then these fighter jets.
Oh yeah.
Bro, it was amazing. Yeah, it was good.
It's interesting you brought that up because the coverage we saw back here in Australia, it was the New Zealand coverage, but on Stan Sport was we never saw all of that live. They were talking, and it was a bit of a bummer that we didn't get to see it. And even when the players were running out, the commentators were still talking over the top. And I thought, why don't you cut to the actual live and just get that soak in the atmosphere, and that would have been real good. But
I guess you just have to get your tickets and fly over next time, mate.
Or maybe get business class. Nems got the hookups there, brother.
I was in the plans. Don't worry, I've got you, mate.
But other than that, good. It was a good game to watch. I felt like that the same with Nems. Like I didn't think, even though the scoreline started to get away a little bit, I didn't think it was. It was good. I watched 80 minutes all the way. It was a bit of a bummer to see Ratuma get injured, but. Noah hope for him to get his debut, and he looked.
Yeah.
His first game, he didn't look too bad for his debut as well. So it was good to see him, and obviously Wallace at TT, Derry as well. Derry was another one that got a debut. So it was good to see quite a few, not just the All Blacks, Wallabies and Springboks had a lot of debutants on the weekend. So it was good to see guys get a bit of game time. And it was good to see Tier 2 nations get some game time against Tier 1 teams. I think we need more of that. So
yeah, it was good to see Tonga Tier 2 get a chance against one of the best teams in Spain. But yeah, I thought I was actually really impressed with Fiji. I know he wasn't there. They had a lot of boys out in the Olympics, and but yeah, they were entertaining. It was good. I think the future's bright for Fiji in the halves. I thought Armstrong, Ravula was good, and then Munns, I thought he was really good off his little cameo off the bench as well. So they never stopped trying. They kept having a crack, especially their kicking game. It was pretty entertaining, and the Americans would have thought it was similar to NFL with some of the crossfield kicks to wide receivers, especially for that first try that Fiji got. Yeah, in Sydney, we had the Wallabies hosting Georgia. A little bit of a shock, a little bit of a scare there with Georgia almost getting us. But Nems, what are your thoughts on the game? Did you catch the game?
Yeah, I was hoping Ironside was on here tonight because
he was there. Yeah,
kind of like Madge and his comments about rocks and glass houses. You had to go at the crowd in Melbourne.
Yeah, true.
yeah, he did.
Mate, it was like seeing a blue ocean. I thought they were playing at Bondi. How blue the stand was.
Yeah. Would have reminded you of when you played at the Waratahs.
Oh, mate, tell you what, mate, we had a little bit more just so I wanted to have a crack at him about that. So, talk about Sydney being the home of rugby. But anyway, getting back to the game, I was really, it was good. Look, Wallabies, they've won. That's the most important thing. I think let's not get too technical about it. We all know, I just feel fans are just saying the obvious, in terms of, they haven't been tested really and they've got the Springboks and All Blacks. Look, that's good, but they're winning. I think that's the important thing. I think winning gives you that confidence, mentally to get through. And, had they maybe not won a game and then gone into the Springboks and the All Blacks or the Tri Nations, different story. Then you're panicking. I think this is great. A lot of guys, got a crack again. But let's not take away. You can't do that against the bigger teams. Georgia, I thought played really well. Richard, what's his name? The coach for Georgia, Richard Cockrell. Leicester legend, Leicester Tigers legend. I thought that he's changed that team really well. And remember we spoke about the week before with their confidence of that win against Japan. But mate, one guy that really, really impressed me with his solo try is it Akaki Tabuzande?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Is that long range try?
Yeah, the red headgear.
Yeah.
And he burnt Tom Wright and
Darby
Lancaster. Yeah. And that was slow. You know what I mean? And his solo try, I thought was great. I think but he's been in that team for a while now. And but yeah, look, Wallabies have a lot to work on in terms of my view, but just be positive. Like they've won 3 on the trot, and then I think they've got a few weeks off, and then they play. The big test is now, but at least they've got some of that money in the bank in terms of wins, and it's good. Let's get behind them, and I'm sure they'll do well. Hopefully, anyway.
No, just to add on to what Nem said, he's right. I mean, I did read a few comments saying, they haven't played the All Blacks and Springboks yet, but you got to play who's in front of you. You can't control that until you come up against them. So, and they've won their 3 matches. That's all they needed to do, and you can get a bit of confidence heading into the Rugby Championship. Again, just like the All Black game, it was good to see a few guys get a go and get a look at. I don't know what you feel about that red card to Filippo. That's a hard one to me. I know the letter of the law. Obviously, there's, but what do you do when obviously he's in the air? You can't move when you're in the air. So, it's another one of those hard ones where I don't think it was talked about much because obviously the result went the way, but, in a tight game, those red cards again, we don't want those to dictate, obviously, result.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of I think I didn't quite like that, but other than that, the game was good. That Jordan side's very good, very strong. A lot of their players play in France in either top 14 or Pro D2. So it was good to see them come over, and other than that, Wallabies 3 from 3.
Yeah.
Can't be any more happy than that.
Yeah, better than South Africa. Speaking of South Africa, they did put it, people say a B team against Portugal. Portugal scared them at the start there, because speaking of red cards, they also got a red card with Estevez, the big centre, getting a red card pretty much at the start of the game. They were a man down for most of the game, and then a few parts of the game, I think twice, they were down to 13 players.
Like the Fiji All Blacks game, with the man down and whatnot, I think the Springboks were in control there. But you've got to hand it to Portugal. They've come over. They're tier 2, maybe tier 3 sort of team. You're playing the world champions. But the one thing that really, really, I think for me was awesome, and there's a difference between that and the game here in Sydney, was, look, let's face it, Georgia is probably a bit better team than Portugal, but I don't know if you saw, they played at Bloemfontein, Free State, which is, it's a farmer's, there's nothing there really. No offence to all my Free State fans, but 40,000 people were there to watch that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And against a team like Portugal, mate, those Portuguese players, some of them will be the highlight of their career.
Yeah.
Playing there, I guess, the game, I really just feel like the atmosphere there, the things that Portuguese team will take out, man, that's crazy to play in front of a Free State, in Bloemfontein, high altitude.
Yeah.
I know because my lungs were not fit at better times in my prime, but I commend the Springboks for allowing a team like Portugal to come over.
Yeah.
And Springboks in control. They dominated. They did well. Like I said, they went down 2 players. But hats off to the South African Rugby Union for putting on a great show. It's good. It's good for our game. It's like a soccer game. It's like, or a football game. So kudos to the Springboks and Portugal. I'm sure they'll take a lot out of that game.
Yeah, the crowd was, like you said, the crowd was insane. And Portugal, they weren't scared at all. They're actually getting into the tussle. A few fights, or not fights, but a few little push and shoves happened during the game. And they did always fire shots similar to Fiji. They always tried the kicking game was pretty decent for them. Like crossfield kicking game and short kicking game was good for Portugal. And like you said, it's going to be massive for the game in Portugal to see them in South Africa playing these games that they never would have gotten, especially off the back of the World Cup. Because when I went over and played a season in Portugal, that World Cup in, I think, New Zealand or Sydney or in Australia when Portugal were there, that was the main reason why a lot of the boys that I played with started playing rugby. Well, they grew up playing football, but that was the main reason when they made that World Cup. And now a few of them kicked on into the national team, and even this is just going to be even better for the game in Portugal. But
just to add on to what you said, I remember when they beat Fiji in that last pool match, and they went back to Portugal, and you see the crowd at the airport, and it just lifted the profile in Portugal. I mean, those are the stories you want to see. But going back to what Nem said about the crowd in Bloemfontein, man, that was a big crowd for a team like Portugal to come over. They don't get many test matches there, let alone obviously the Cheetahs aren't really there. They're not in the URC anymore, so it was good to see that. That first try from Portugal was out of this world. That kick and obviously regather and pass. What a try. I just think South Africa have the deepest squad in the world, I think.
Yeah.
They got so much depth there, it's just crazy. I mean, it helps that they get to pick overseas players. You know, that South Africa, they look, they got the job done, and they had a lot of guys on debut as well, and they'll be gearing. They've got a few injuries though. I don't know if you've seen. There's quite a few injuries to their top players heading into the Rugby Championship. They can deal with it. They've got the depth.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that. So
yeah, I think it's scary that a team like South Africa have guys like Mapimpi and Lekanyo Arm who are still world-class players, and they're playing in this sort of B team sort of thing and playing really well. So yeah, really pushing the guys in the first team at the moment. So scary thing for the Rugby Championship moving forward. Speaking of fans, I was at this game on the weekend on Friday night. The Reds hosted Wales at the end of the Welsh, their last game on tour. It felt like Ballymore. Like, I know the game was at Suncorp. We filled out the bottom half of the stadium. I think it was a 23,000 sort of crowd, and everyone stuck around after the game, jumped on the field, meeting the players, getting autographs. The kids were there as well. It felt like a real community sort of vibe. Reds almost did it too, almost won. Yeah,
that was a good game. That was actually that was my match of the round because it was so close and it was exciting. I think the great thing about they should have more of those midweek sort of games as well, purely for the fact that no one's playing for competition points. So you saw no shots at goal. Everything was kicked to the corner, and they were playing to score tries and win. And that's what I think helped that game. I thought Wales were going to run away with it at one point, and the Reds just piled on a bunch of points. Richie scored, obviously, a hat-trick off the Moors. I thought Oru was my man of the match. He was immense. Him and the prop Tumang Allen, I thought they were very good. I could see Uru playing for the Wallabies for sure. But the atmosphere looked good as well, and I think Wales be real relieved to get a win before they that was their first win in it must be 8 months. I think it is. So but you know, I was hoping the Reds got over the line at the end. It looked a great atmosphere, and it looked like a good night afterwards at the Caxton by the sounds of things. Tony, good game.
Yeah, the Welsh boys came out to the Caxton afterwards as well and enjoyed themselves on their last night on tour. It was really good to have these sort of touring games. It reminded me of I don't know if you guys played back when I first changed over from league to union, but there was always little touring sides during our pre-season. There was always an Argentinian team always coming and touring. It's just, I think, part of rugby where Northern Hemisphere get it a lot, where it's kind of gone away from our side of the world in a while, and it's good to have it back. The Reds have really invested into it. They're over in Tonga this weekend to play in the Tonga national team with the men's and the women's, and then they're doing a tour in Japan again. So it's something I think Les Kiss has probably brought it in to bring actually make rugby great again.
Like, the atmosphere looked, like I said, I've been harping on a lot of the atmosphere and how we can make that better. And what's the difference between what they did then, like, and you would know, than a normal Super Rugby game? Because whatever they did that way, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe
Tom Jones, the Tom Jones guy, it was funny.
Whatever they did that way, do it again. Like, honestly, it looked good on TV. Like, it looked like you said, it looked like the Ballymore, back to Ballymore days, and the guys were on the field afterwards. Obviously, I know rules and stuff during Super, they want to kick everyone off, but I looked. The game was really good. I thought Wales played well, and then, but for the rest to come back, that was good to see. For me, I was really happy to see Sam Coslow, the 10 for Wales. Yeah, he's a Leicester Tiger Academy. They had some high reps on him, and for future honours. So, I'm glad he got to play some valuable minutes. So this is going to be good for his career, and he's obviously playing up in, I think, Ospreys at the moment. Yeah. And then I just saw James O'Connor too. I thought the old fella, led, and a lot of young guys in that team as well. So, I just thought he did well. But like the crowd, the atmosphere looked good. Like, it looked awesome on TV. And following you guys, you were at the Caxton and stuff. It looked pretty
Yeah, it was good.
You can never go wrong on a Friday night.
Yeah, it was good. It got to around midnight, and then someone was like, "Oh, how old are you?" Talking to someone, and then reminded me how old I was. I got to go home now. See you outside. I just walked out.
So no, it looked good, and again, like you said, Braz, for the Reds to have these touring games against internationals, they've got to bring them back.
Yeah,
it's particularly those teams that come for 2 test matches. The T1s.
Yeah.
Because obviously now they're trying to get the T2s to play that third game.
Yeah.
Perfect to get the young guys at that international level to play against your Reds or your Waratahs or your Brumbies, and maybe take them to smaller stadiums. Like imagine 25,000 at a different. You know what I mean? So I think it's great. I think more of that, and it's going to be good for the game.
Yeah, I'll jump on the back of that. James O'Connor, I thought he was really good, along with his inside centre Dre Paheko. I think he's a young gun from Brothers, mate. Their combination really complemented each other on the field there. That was the first time I've sort of seen Dre play, because I haven't really watched much of Hospital Cup, but really impressed with him getting around. So some decent talent getting around in Queensland, as always. Speaking of talent getting around, Ardie Savea has announced a day before he announced, actually, all the rugby pages broke it. I'm like, nah, this is a scram. So I'm like, this is. And then when he dropped that video, I'm like, fuck off. And so he's announced that he's signed on until 2027 with New Zealand Rugby Union, including a transfer from the Hurricanes to Moana Pacifica. Starting with you, Nems, what's this do for the game, not only the Pacific, but the Super Rugby competition?
No, it's good. Like I said, I caught up with him 4 hours before he let the news loose, and didn't bring it up.
Let the people know.
Close, but we're at least he said hello to me. So, Ardie, if you're watching, Marlo's telling you. Anyway, mate, it's awesome, isn't it? It's awesome to see someone like Ardie Savea to come to the Moana Pacifica, just from a young islander perspective, a young islander gets to now, rather than play against him, he gets to see him in the flesh. And I remember Israel Dag I was listening to his radio, he said a good point. He said, someone like him, who's probably one of the best forwards in the game, and potentially, it could be I know legend's it's a big word, but he could potentially go on and be an All Black legend. Like I said, the amount of, his professionalism and what he brings to the game and how he conducts himself, these young guys and these young kids from South Auckland or Gordon or, something playing now, or Two Blues. Anyway, they're at the Moana. But, you know what I mean? They'll get to see him in the flesh. They'll see how he works and how he goes, and it's awesome. And it's going to be weird too, because the fact that he can play for the All Blacks and then play for Moana, but great for the game. And I kind of, it would be good to see a lot of that, I don't know if it's just Moana, but it'd be good to see some of those guys still playing Super, whether it's here, maybe that's opened another avenue now. And, it'd be good to, I guess, like I said, all those, big players can start maybe potentially play over in Australia maybe one day. But no, great for Ardie, and I'm so happy for him. And he's, and what my other point was as well, that not only, he's already played for the All Blacks, potentially can't play for Samoa. Maybe this is, his way of sort of representing his people. They're going to play a lot more games in Samoa, and, he's got the best of both worlds, living in New Zealand, playing Moana, still playing for the All Blacks. It's not bad. That's a pretty good gig.
Yeah, 100.
But and he gets to play with his brother, Julian. So that's crazy.
Yeah, no, just to add on what Nem said, I think it's the biggest signing in Super Rugby history.
Agree.
He is the current world player of the year.
Yeah.
And going to a team that has been struggling since the inception of Super Rugby. It hasn't been the smoothest sails, but for him to sign, I watched the breakdown today and I heard some of John Kerwin's comments. I was quite negative towards them. And I didn't really like what he was saying. I think for the benefit of Super Rugby, this is I reckon the biggest story of the year. I think more transfers should happen in Super Rugby. You don't really see players at that size move. It'd be like Richie McCaw going to the Highlanders or something down south.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a transfer like this since Jonah left Auckland to go to play for the Hurricanes in the 90s. Take my
name's
hat
going
off to
to Perth
Ardie.
Spirit.
Hey, mate, I've done a few transfers in my time.
True.
From North 4th grade to Moorabbin Rams, not Bulls.
But you gotta take his hat off. The first thing I thought straight away was he was still signed with New Zealand Rugby still.
Yeah.
So he'll still play for New Zealand Rugby. It sounds like to me they're going to fork most of the bill because Super Rugby contracts are around about that 180 to 190 to the best players. So the chunk of that would come from New Zealand Rugby. I think that's what John Kerwin was trying to get around. But I think the big picture here is Super Rugby and rugby has won. I just hope that they can organise Moana Pacifica home base for next year because this jumping between different stadiums it's obviously it's not good for that franchise. Hopefully more people go watch them. I hope other players from overseas that are from Pacific Island descent look at coming back as well. Obviously the money's not as good, but how good would some of those marquee players playing Moana Pacifica would be? That would be such a good story.
Fonz, what's your thoughts on that, like All Blacks players or some of the best Australian rugby players crossing over and do you get what I mean?
We spoke about this a month ago, me and Sione. I think Super Rugby, and I know there's a lot of people in New Zealand that are quite negative about it. I think it shouldn't matter which team franchise you play for in New Zealand, Australia, the Drua or Moana Pacifica, as long as you're playing in Super Rugby. I think you still should be picked for your national side. So if you're an All Black, you can play in an Australian franchise.
I agree.
To me, I feel like there's two parties in Super Rugby and what's best interest for New Zealand and what's best interest for Australia. Where we should be thinking about what's best interest for the competition.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what's happened here with New Zealand Rugby. That what's best for the competition was Ardie.
Yeah.
And then it's given the opportunity for one of the Hurricanes players who's already stacked. Because if Ardie comes back, someone's going to miss a spot, and they're already stacked as it is without him.
Yeah, well, you look at that Hurricanes back row. You got Lakai, Devin Flanders, Brad Shields, Tupasi Karifi, TK Howard. And you're going to put Ardie in there. They got 6 back rowers there. That all of them. Yose is another one. So I just think more of it, more transfers as well. I just think more player movement. And get the fans more excited. I mean, look how many people in the last 24 hours got behind that news that Ardie was signing. That's that's big news.
Yeah, good play there. And looking forward to this week. We got the Olympics kicking off. Who are your picks actually for the gold, and who are your players to watch out for?
I'm gonna go. I think Fiji can go the third goal. I think they can do it, but I'm hopeless. I always jinx everything I go with. So.
You just put the mockers on them.
I think you said New Zealand, but anyway, Jerry Tuai's back. Look, I've got some fears. I've got some doubts about that. Hopefully, he proves me wrong and kills it. He hasn't really played much. Jerry Tuai, he's won 2 gold medals. The experience-wise is there, but I just hope that. He can do. I think if he's firing on all cylinders, Fiji are a good chance. They've got Celestino from the Drua as well as Rocky. Is it Mussy?
Yeah, Mussy.
Sorry, Stefan Mussy.
Yeah,
sorry, Stefan Mussy. So those guys. So look, the likes of them two involved. It's going to be good. Hopefully they'll go gold. But it'll be interesting to see how Mark goes. I'm really Mark Nawangene-Tawase. I remember chatting to him. A while ago, he's keen to go out on the high before he buggers off to the dark side. So, and he's a good player too. So hopefully it goes well. But I'm calling it France Fiji gold medal, and Jerry Tuai passes it to Celestino, and he burns it. That's not going to happen. No.
I actually got Argentina winning the men's gold.
Judas.
Yes.
Judas. Hope the All Black
they
Sevens
worry
watching
me.
this.
You know, this year during this series, I think they've been the most consistent team, even though they didn't win in Madrid. I got them to win gold. I've got Marcos Moneta, one of their top players, winger, fast guy, and the other one is Perez from France. It's another guy to watch out for. They've been on the circuit for quite a while now, but I have the RGs winning gold in the men's, and then the women's. It's a 2-horse race, and you flip a coin either way. You know, they've been so dominant over the last 4 years. I'd like, you know, Maddie Levi and Sarah Hiddeny are the two to watch out for me. Maddie Levi, I think she's the best sevens player in the world.
So you're back in Australia?
Like I said, I'll flip a coin.
Whoa.
I'll flip a coin, my guy.
Oh, you're just as bad as the host here.
Oh, whoa. I'm back in the Aussies in both.
But you know, it's that close, isn't it? It's that close between those two teams. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
No, it's all right, because last week he said he's listening.
Wow. Oh, meow.
Hey, we all got in trouble last week, didn't we? Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, my guy.
Oh man. I'm actually putting my money on Aussies in both. I think the girls are going to be class. Shani's last tournament, Dom Dutoy as well, great sevens of the game. They were there when they won gold in Brazil. I think they'll do it again. They'll edge the Kiwis in the final. And in the men's, I think Marky Mark, Corey O'Toole joining the boys, I think it's going to be a little edge. I think Dietrich Roach is one to watch for Australia. When he's on, we win games. So, it really is whoever turns up on the day. And I think the boys will turn up to...
Did you say we?
The Aussies, yeah. We like I'm playing, yeah. No, I was talking to Marky Mark the other day, so yeah. He didn't talk back, but you know, it was.
No, it's funny you say that, because I forgot to pick my women's team. I want Australia to win, purely because Shani's last game. I think she's retiring, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's been a great servant to Australia, and to play that long in sevens. Bro, that's crazy, man. So hopefully they go out and get the goal for us, because she deserves it. She's a legend.
I had down Tonga versus Spain in Tonga. Whoa, what's warming up? I've been reading the comments. A lot of people aren't happy with the coaches that they've chosen. A lot of people aren't happy with the team that they've chosen. I know they've got some island boys playing in the team, and then a lot of boys that were in the World Cup squad are currently doing pre-season in the RTM Cup. I don't know what's going on there, but I watched the game. I was angry at halftime, so I switched it off. And then I didn't think we were going to actually lose. It was a shock seeing the score at the end. But Spain, they're actually building. I know they only just lost to Samoa the week before.
So...
Be careful.
Think about it.
No. I've been getting roasted the last few weeks anyway. So anyway, first of all, Tonga shouldn't be losing to Spain. Spain, congratulations. They deserve it. It's hard to go there and win.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tonga should have won that. Tonga should have won that. I don't know what it is. Is it leadership? For me, I just feel like there's no leadership there, or guys taking ownership, and they got some players in there that have played in some big games. But for a team, like Tonga, you should be beating Spain. And no, that's being no disrespect to Spain, because now they've just proved to the world that they can beat a tier 2 nation, or they can beat Tonga. So I was pretty disappointed with the boys. I thought some patches they played well. But again, I just feel there's no leadership. There's no one there just, guys stepping up. If you can get your leaders to step up there, they can be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I think a lot of the boys that did play in the World Cup last year for Tonga had a bit of issue with the payment, as you say, from the Tongan Rugby Union. I remember after the World Cup, Tonga posted an actual letter from whoever runs Tonga Rugby Union saying it's not our fault, blame your bank. Like, that was their posts on social media saying it's not us, check with your bank. And I'm like, which is the only reason why I'm thinking why these players are choosing to play, to go to ITM Cup, they're getting NPC, they're getting paid, and just also the players from overseas, you don't know what's going on. It's a new coaching group here. You don't know what's going on, how the program, if it's going to be professional or not, and those sort of things that are playing by some of the players. But we still should have won. We got the names. We still got names in the squad, some decent names in the squad, and this is it's not looking good. A lot of the fans, notably one fan was like, how the F do we lose to Spain, who just started playing rugby 8 minutes ago? So, but it is an issue. Like, I've been trying to help out Tonga Rugby Union with content. It's like, because I remember when I was younger, I wanted to play for Tonga. That was a dream. I wasn't good enough, but you still see Tonga Rugby Union still in the same state as he was when we were young kids, still not playing their players properly, still last minute getting all these tours together and don't have kit ready, and just little things like that. That hopefully we can sort of fix moving forward, or get a group in that can actually move towards a more professional outfit for the island group. Because these countries like Spain, mate, they're like Georgia. Like, all these countries weren't big rugby nations, 20 years ago. Now they're surpassing the island nations. We've got a few full viewers' questions. Starting off, after Friday night's performance against Wales, does Seruuru deserve a call-up to the Wallabies Rugby Championship squad? I think the issue with him, what is he? Is he a lock or a back rower sort of thing?
Yeah, that was going to be my question was, look, he's got the talent. I think he's done well to earn his spot. But I think the question needs to be, what is the sort of player that head coach is looking for?
Yeah, true.
Smith, is he looking for a hard lock or a work rate lock? I mean, don't get me wrong, Uru's fit. Yeah. Uru's fit, but what is it that you're looking for? And if, because I'm sure if he fit that bill, he probably would have been in the squad already.
Yeah, true.
He's one of those players where he can play lock and play back row, but probably leaning more towards a back row, I think, than a lock.
Yeah.
But look, it's already hard as it is to pick. There's a bloody a debate about who should be, the back three in the scrums and locks week in, week out. So I think he deserves his spot, but the question is where do you put him?
True. What is with the Wallabies game at the same time as Clubland on Saturday? No wonder half the stadium was empty. The game was pretty much 3 p.m, same time as first grade in Sydney, and pretty much all around Australia. Fonz, your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts.
Let him cook, mate.
Mate. I mean, Ryan's right. They got 3 p.m, good time, wrong day, not Saturday. Yeah. Everyone's playing Saturday, 3 p.m. Club, school, and why are we trying to fight against each other for eyeballs? We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. 3 p.m. Sunday would have been perfect. Yeah. Everyone would have come to the game on a Sunday. They all would have had their games on Saturday. And that's half the reason why the crowd, I think, wasn't as good as obviously against a couple of weeks ago against Wales. It's just frustrating seeing that. It's not the only game too. Apparently the Wallabies Springbok game in Brisbane is the same sort of kickoff time in the afternoon on a Saturday. They did say it was due to the Olympics. They didn't want to clash with the Olympics, but it's still clashing with our own fans. In Australia, you know what I mean? So it doesn't make any sense why you would play it on 3 p.m. Saturday. I'm not too sure if that's something to do with the television rights deal, with what Stan Sport might want. And I think Super Rugby should also follow suit and not play a game on a Saturday and have games on Sunday and 2 games on Friday night. There's a television rights deal that's been negotiated at the moment for 2026 onwards. This should be talked about the most. I know the TV deals, they like Saturday night. It's obviously their prime time. But I think we lose fans because, not so much in Australia and New Zealand, it's freezing at night time. They don't want to send their kids to games on Saturday night. I think you need to make, like we brought it back what Nems was saying, more fan-orientated entertainment. Imagine having that game on a Sunday at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. You'd go lunchtime down the road and go and get lunch and down to the pub, have a few schooners with your mates and then head on into rugby. I think, I don't know why Rugby Australia do that. They need to look at that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a stupid idea to play, at a time where we're trying to talk about making rugby great again.
Yeah.
And particularly Brisbane, Suncorp is a big market in terms of rugby up there because they pack out Suncorp Stadium. I think they've got a lot of success up there. Why do it at 3 p.m. when you've got kids playing first 15? They're already competing with Clubland.
Forgot about first 15.
Cup. It's ridiculous to think. And the fact that they're blaming the Olympics, they're still asleep in bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the Olympic Village, God knows what they're doing in there with all those comments. Hopefully they're focusing on training and whatever it is they're doing there. But it's silly. Like you said, 3 p.m. The one thing that they did well in England and France as well was that they never played. If they just say England or in Europe, if your country was playing at 3 o'clock. Yeah. They would push the games to make it a Sunday, so everyone played a Sunday or everyone played, just so that you could watch the team. I remember if England Six Nations was on a Sunday afternoon, everyone you were either playing that Friday night or Saturday, so no one watched, and that was good. They pushed, push it around. So even if the Wallabies are playing on Saturday at 3 p.m., right? Why don't you push it to Friday or Sunday? Talk. ARU and Clubland and grassroots, talk with each other.
Yeah.
But, like Fon said, I just feel like we're all trying to fight amongst ourselves. We're trying to fix this bloody problem.
Yeah.
Me, Sione and Ryan talked about it last week, and over in America, Friday nights high school football, Saturdays college football, Sunday is NFL. And they play 2 games on a Monday night. No one's fighting amongst each other. They all share, the viewership. I'd like to see that. 100%. Television rights deals shouldn't affect each other that way. I feel like next year Super Rugby, I know at the moment they're drafting that now because there's 11 teams. So there'll only be 5 games each round. So I'd like to see 2 games on a Friday night, 1 in New Zealand and Australia, and then 3 games Sunday. Saturday does not get touched at all. Sunday, obviously a game in New Zealand, a game in Australia, and depending on where the last game is, if it's in Fiji, have it earlier at lunchtime. If it's in Perth, have it at later. And so you have a Super Sunday in Super Rugby. Yeah. Just don't go near Saturday. Don't go near Saturday at all.
Yeah, they even said it on the broadcast. They were sort of celebrating the fact that Derby Lancaster's mates all they forfeited their club game, like their local club game, to come to the Wallabies game. And I was like, that's kind of, we want grassroots, you want people playing grassroots rugby, and now you're forcing them to sort of give up just to watch their mates play, which is, the Wallabies is what they said Wallabies is what they make most of the chunk of the money from, and you're sort of hiding it away from pretty much everyone that plays with club rugby can't sort of watch it. You can't even tune into stand because you're still playing rugby at the ground. So you're kind of taken away from grassroots. And even like people that went to the game like Ironside, he was at the game. He played his game at 9 a.m. 4th grade. But normally those guys stay the whole day, and then you're giving money back to the club. So you're taking money from the club on Saturdays by taking the fans away from the club game. So I think it's just a sort of a mindset shift and sort of getting I don't know if they do it at the RA, they have to because it's a professional outfit, but just around user experience sort of things, like they're probably going to hate us again if they watch this again. But yeah, let's do better, guys.
Just use your comments.
To be honest, you got to call it for what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I reckon they lost 10,000 fans on the weekend because of club rugby and school rugby. That's what I think. You know, if they moved that to Sunday, they would have made more money through the gates. I believe.
Yeah.
Well, the Randwick Warringah game, I saw that replay, and they had a lot of people at the game.
Yeah, it was packed.
Packed. So, you know, and Randwick's a rich club in terms of, you know, they know their stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this one's around Roman Siulepa that you talked about from State High. With Roman Siulepa balling out at schoolboy rugby at the moment and will most likely follow the basketball path after high school, who is the best player you guys played in high school that would have kicked on to be a Wallaby if they took the rugby union path? Anyone in your, back when you played with or played against maybe, that probably went to league? Most of them would have gone to league. They probably would have kicked on to be a Wallaby. I'm trying to think.
Most of the guys I played with all stayed in union, so I didn't really play with anyone that jumped to other codes. Really?
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm trying to.
Yeah, mine, because I grew up playing with leagueies. Mine was more. I played Met West Union with this guy, but he also made the rugby league, schoolboys. I think it was Nems's age, junior. Semana Tafa.
I was just going to say that.
He was really talented. I would say Bulu, but Bulu was drinking and smoking at that age.
You know what though? Sorry, go back to junior after, but Bulu, he was the man, bro.
Yeah, it was a freak.
Yeah, but I think he was working forklift for the warehouse.
Bro.
After going to school, what did he go to school in the valley there? Stephen or whatever? Well, that was his brother. Anyway, the Pete out.
Yeah, but yeah, junior Semana Tafa, mate, he was Benji before Benji back when we were playing, just his footwork. Yeah. I know he went to the Rabbitohs after high school and then did his knee and I think he just got into boxing after that. But yeah, he was a freakish talent. Probably the entire Semana Tafa family. Yeah,
for me, played with him and he was a freak in school. Went to Epic Grammar. You probably know he's from Goodna as well. Sonny Mananu.
Oh, Sonny Mananu. Yeah, he signed Storm because it was my age group. He signed with the Storm when he was like 12 or 13.
Yeah, he was a freak.
How long ago was that, Sione?
Oh, mate, yeah, fair bit. But this guy was a freak, man. He was. He was
a freak. I remember he made Queensland. So I played a year up with Goodna Eagles, and Sonny, I think his photo's still up at the Goodna Eagles clubhouse, but he was tipped to be someone. Went to Epic Grammar, did all that stuff, and then I think just everyone caught up, and then he just. What did he do?
Oh man, no, I think it was man because he's one of those Islanders. His dad was really hard on him because he left Goodna after because I think he got some big money to go to Norths in Ipswich, so then he changed and he was playing both codes. He was playing league and union, but I think he just got burnt out by the end of high school, and I think he had enough, so he didn't really play on after high school, which is a shame. He was a freak.
Done. Yeah.
And last one, I don't know if we need to cut this one out. This is for Nems. Any stories about Nili Latu's training skills at NEC in Japan?
Nah, because that's my senpai. So for you guys who don't know Japanese, it's my elder. Back there, mate. There's not so much training, but you know what though? Fair play to Nili. Nelly can drink anyone out of the table, but he would be the first one doing fitness. Like he was a freak like that. You know what I mean? But I remember one time we got on the piss, me and Nelly, and I was like 21. He's like 35. I think he's still 35. But anyway, we got on the piss and we drank. I went home midnight. He drank till Monday morning at 8 or 9 o'clock. We had a meeting and fitness. He literally got on his scooter, came down, trained, and just was normal. Just was like, "Double." He always said to me, he goes, are you a pretender or are you a contender? Bro, this guy's a freak.
Oh, McTender.
So every time, like, and I think fair play to him. That stuck with me throughout my career. So when times got tough,
Yeah.
they did a lot in preseason. I used to say to myself, "What, you a contender?
Yeah.
Or are you a contender?"
Hey. Mate, he was my favourite. He was one of my favourites. I think I had Nearly Like to Do It, doesn't fit anymore. I had the Tongan number 7. So yeah, shout out to Nili. Mate, we'll turn it around, mate. Big Fizz coming for Tonga. And that's the end of the show. Just got shout outs. Any shout outs, Nems?
Oh, big shout out, yes, massive shout out to Lisa Lynn and Michael Young from Visit Anaheim Tourism. They took me in and looked after me for the week leading into the San Diego test match. As you can see, I'm a massive Anaheim Ducks supporter. So I don't know if you've watched the Mighty Ducks movie 1, 2, and 3. My favourite players are on there. So do you remember, Fonz? Do you remember Mighty Ducks?
Oh, I remember Goldberg.
Oh, yeah, the goalkeeper. Yeah. Now, my favourite player was Charlie Conway. Charlie Conway, the captain.
Oh, Charlie.
And the mummy fell in love with the coach. But anyway,
the Iceland coach.
Big shout out to Michael Young and the team at Visit Anaheim Tourism. You guys are great. I really appreciate the hospitality. And hopefully we'll make a trip over there and do a show over in Anaheim. So
yeah, that's cool.
Gracias.
Gracias. Fonts?
Just want to give a shout out to the Wallaroos. You know. No, we're not having jokes this week.
Why?
Not having jokes this week. Hey, we support women's rugby on here. Hey, we're the only ones that talk about it on a weekly. You know, we're the only rugby pod that I can see consistently talk about women's rugby.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've got to show my love to Wallaroos and all the women's rugby out there. So,
yeah.
Have you
don't be so hard on us, all right? Don't be
with
so
a
hard
certain comment.
Okay.
Have you made up, Fonz, with a certain comment from last week with the?
Oh no, I stand on my comments.
Oh, stand on business.
No, I'm saying, hey, no one wants to play out. Who wants to fight?
Hey, we gotta blame Sione for that. He chopped the words up and he added a little spice onto it. I was like, come on, man. Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
My nuts too, please don't take my name. Please don't take my name.
Oh mate, no, it's all love. It's all love.
All love. Speaking of love, my shout out is to the Queensland Reds. We've come a long way from me just dungeon memeing the other year. We got our all access pass now. It was crazy being out there at Suncorp. Even people ran a few of the content guys, the photographers and stuff who were laughing back in my meme days, were watching me and the Pack boys getting our VIP passes, walking around stadium going, how'd you guys make this happen? I'm like, mate, it's about growth. It's about growth. So we're here to make rugby great again. And my shout out was also for Ironside would have said this one. We're on the field interviewing some of the players, and Ironside knows the Connor Vest from North Stays, and they were taking a photo, so I did a little photo, and then I thought it was just some random dude coming through to photobomb, and I'm like, fuck. And then look at the photo, look up, and it's Les Kiss, the Reds coach, just going in for a random photo bomb, and then dapping up Ironside, just thanking us for being there. So it's really good to the feel at the Queensland Reds. We're not getting paid to say this, but make sure you renew your memberships this year, boys. And we'll see you at Suncorp next Queensland Reds game. So thanks, boys, for tuning in. Shout out to Anaheim and the Wallaroos, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, boys.